We'd like to now turn it over to Joseph Palmer, our Web Development and Product Coordinator. Take it away, Joseph.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm Joseph, and today we're going to go over, we're going to start with a little tour of Google, just so you can see, if you're not familiar with using Google, how to log in, see the apps that are available to you, and also get into our company intranet. The intranet platform is actually built on Google, so it utilizes a lot of the resources that are available to us through that platform. So we'll kind of take a tour through there, through Google to get to Buckles Connect. So I'm going to start by just sharing my screen. And so here I am. I've gone to google.com, and please play along if you can. On your screen, go ahead and go to google.com, and you're just going to log into your new Buckles email account. So I'm using an account for Betty Buckles. This is one of our test accounts here. So I'm going to sign in with this account. And once I'm in, I'm going to see my profile picture show up here in the top right. Next to that is what we call the launcher, and that is a square that's made up of all these little dots. That's where you're going to find all of your Google apps, and we'll go there in just a second. You'll see the images as well, and Gmail. So you can go to Gmail and check your email. If you haven't already done that, definitely take a moment to look in there and see that we have migrated some of your old emails into there, but they're only for about the last year. So when we complete that migration, we're going to go back many more years, and we'll migrate your things over as well. So you'll start seeing them populate your inbox. So this is my Google dashboard, basically. I'm going to go to that launcher, and here you're going to see all of the different apps that are available to you through Google. Right in the top section are all the Google apps, and as you scroll down, you'll see other things that are also supported or provided through Google. These are the ones that we use the most, right? We have Gmail, you have your Drive. Your Google Drive is where you're going to store all of your information. So each individual user gets 30 gigs of space in their own drive, but we also have something called a shared drive that is available to you. So if you use a lot of images and a lot of video, I highly recommend that you create a shared drive. That way you don't have to use up all that space within your own personal drive. Within that shared drive, you can choose to share it with other people, as the name says. So you could, if you have team members that you work with, if you have a department that always works on things together, you can create documents and slideshows and all kinds of things, and store them with the shared drive so everybody has access to them. And basically, everybody who is part of that shared drive gets access to that. And that is how we have created our knowledge base. We have done that through Google Shared Drive. Automatically, you will see in that shared drive, underneath when you go there, you'll see underneath shared drive. I'll go there now. Here on my left side, I see my drive. So these are all the things that exist in Betty Buckles Drive. In shared drives, we see one called Buckles Connect. If you don't see this one here, you will just have to hit hidden shared drives. Go ahead and click on that. It might be hidden in there for you. So, but this is basically our knowledge base. And so you can get to the documents this way as well. And then, of course, you're shared with me. These are all the things that people have shared with you. So definitely take a tour around the drive and check out all the options for you there. And think about utilizing not only your drive for your own personal things, but also shared drives to share with your colleagues. I'm going to go back to the launcher and just kind of go through the other things that are available to you. We have Google Docs, and Google Docs, just like Microsoft Word, here you can share, it's in the cloud, so you can add collaborators. You can ask them to be, you can give the access to just view the document. You could give them access to comment on the document or become an editor. So, and that's all controlled within the document interface. The same thing's true for Sheets, that's like Excel, and then Slides, that's like PowerPoint. So you can do the same thing with that, collaborate with others. And you don't have to actually put it into a shared drive. You can do it directly from the interface within Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Then we have the calendar, and you can join other calendars. You can add people to yours. You can create a shared calendar for people within, let's say, your department or your whole organization. And then you can also join other calendars like our Buckles events calendar. You're going to want to join that, see what's going on there. And one of my favorite aspects of the calendar, which I've started to use a lot, is the tasks. And those are just great ways to add reminders for yourself of things that you need to do. So you put it on your calendar and it can all appear in one place, and you can see all the upcoming tasks that you have. Great little reminders. And if you don't do it on the day that you assign it, like say next Tuesday, I want to do something. If I don't do it on next Tuesday, it moves to Wednesday. It just follows me along until I mark it as done. It's a great feature. We also have Google Chat, so you can chat up anybody in our organization just by going to Google Chat, typing in their name, and you'll find them. You can also search by different email accounts, or in our case, you would put in the library town, and a lot of times that'll show everybody in that town. We have Google Meet, and that is creating our Google online meetings. We use that a lot here for committee meetings. If you want to record a meeting, we use WebEx, which is why we're using WebEx today. Our Google Meet account does not allow for recording, so we use that a lot for committee meetings. Then we have forms. If you want to create a form, get feedback on something, or any kind of use you can think of for a form, we have Google Forms. Again, you can add collaborators, so other people can edit that for you. You'll see in Buckles Connect today, we use a lot of Google Forms. And then you have sites and, of course, your contacts. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can check out all the different things that are available here for you. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you're going to see an app called Happyo. Our Buckles Connect intranet system is actually powered by a company called Happyo. So you're going to go ahead and click on that Happyo icon, and it'll bring you to the login screen for Buckles Connect. So all you have to do is click on sign in with Google, and it'll ask you to verify the email account, and this is the one I'm using, so I'm going to click on that, and it will bring me right into Buckles Connect, and this is basically our home page for the system. This is where you find all of the latest news from our office, the committees, libraries, and all the tips and reading lists that we produce every month, either through our office or through committees. And there's a lot of kind of everything you would really need at your fingertips on this page. And we'll get to that in a minute. The first time you log into Buckles Connect, and if you're doing that with me today, I want you to try this with me today. Go ahead and set up your Google integrations. That means you're going to tell the platform that, yes, it is okay to integrate with your Google applications. So there are 3 that we want to set up. We want to set up Gmail, Calendar, and Drive. So I go to my profile picture up here in the top right-hand corner, and I'm going to click User Settings. And then the 4th tab over is called Integration. So go ahead and click on that. And you're going to set up the first 3, Google Drive, Google Calendar, and Google Gmail. Basically, you're telling the platform, yes, you can view these things. It does not store any of your information at all, but you're allowing it to see that. That way, when you do searches, it makes the search even more robust. So it will go into your Drive, your Calendar, and your Gmail to find those keywords that you put into the search. It's also how we upload files, like for a committee, if they're going to upload things, or you're going to collaborate on things directly within the platform. So all you need to do is click the Enable button, and then it's going to ask you to authorize. And then because Betty has already done this before, you don't see the pop-up that happens, but there will be a page will ask you, and you'll see it on the next one, it will ask you to basically choose the email account and then authorize it. I'm going to close this, and you'll see that's toggled over. if when you do any one of these, if it does not authorize right away, if you don't get to go through all those steps, check in your address bar. There may be a pop-up message that comes up there. It usually has a little red dot next to it, and it's going to ask you to please allow pop-ups from the site. So just go ahead and do that, and then walk through the steps again. So I'll do the same thing for Google Calendar. I click on Enable, and then Authorize. And so here you're going to see I need to verify the email address. So I'll do that. And then right at the bottom, if I scroll down, you'll see the button that says Continue. Go ahead and click on Continue. And then you can close this out, and that is toggled over to the right. I'll do the same thing for Gmail. I'll click Authorize, verify my account, and scroll down to the bottom and click Continue, and then close. So that's the first thing you want to do when you come onto Buckles Connect. Again, it's going to allow you to not only see your information through this, but it also is going to allow you to see the Buckles Connect shared drive. If you don't set up that Google Drive or the calendar, you won't be able to see the Buckles events calendar through this platform, and you won't be able to see any of the documents that we share with everybody. So definitely set up those two things. The three things with the Gmail. So I just want to stop and see if there are any questions so far. If anybody needs any assistance trying to set up these integrations, if you're trying them out, if you ran into any problems, go ahead and let me know.
I don't see any questions at the moment, so I will ask you one question while we're giving our colleagues a chance to sort their questions out. So just going back to the integrations and the searching.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Google Drive, we have Google Calendar, and we have Gmail.
Mm-hmm.
So when you search something, I think you said that it doesn't store the information anywhere. Is this kind of like a one-stop searching for searching that you wouldn't have to type in a keyword or search Google Drive, then go to Calendar, then go to Gmail?
Right.
It kind of covers everything
exactly
with one search.
So you don't have to go to those individual applications to do the search. You can actually do it within this platform. So rather than going through your email, doing a filter and finding everything, or doing a search there and then going into your drive, oh my God, was it a document that I created? I can't remember. Or did somebody share it with me? All you have to do is use the search within Buckles Connect, and that'll search all of those things for you. So while we're talking about it, let's go ahead and do that. So in the search bar up in the top right and right in the center in the top, I'm going to click on that search bar, and if you see, it automatically opens not only the keyword search at the top, but it opens some basic filters for me. So I can filter by pages or channels or people, and those are all sections within the platform, or the posts within the platform. I can also search directly into Drive, emails, calendar, the launcher, or hashtags within the site. So I'm going to say, let's go to what happens if we search Buckles Connect? So right away, I'm getting a bunch of results for my Google Drive. So I see right away Buckles Connect user guide, and that is a really useful, helps if I spell it correctly, Buckles Connect user guide, and that is something that we will actually send out to you at the end of the session. And it just is going to basically recap what we do today, kind of give you an overview of the site and help you with those integrations again. And now, again, I corrected the spelling, so I'm going to start seeing a lot more. So within Buckles Connect, I have all kinds of pages. I have documents. I have within my drive, I have documents, folders. I have a PDF here. And now I'm getting down into it in my Google emails. So now if I were to look in my emails, these are all the times that it has mentioned Buckles Connect within my email. So it's a really great way to search across all the platforms without having to go to all the platforms. Now, if I really wanted to, I could also quickly filter out some of these things. So maybe I just want to look in the drive. So now within my drive, I'm going to start seeing all of the things that are available to me through Google Drive. This could be my personal drive, or it could be the Buckles Connect shared drive, or any shared drive that I belong to. So if I'm in a committee, I might belong to a shared drive that is specific to a committee. So I personally am part of the PR committee. And so I belong to a shared drive that is just for the PR committee, where we do a lot of collaborating. We all work on projects together through that drive. If I go to show more, it will show me more of that is available. If there isn't anything else, it won't really show you anything. But it's a really great way to narrow things down and, again, see everything in one place. So here you see our pages. These are all the different pages where Buckles Connect is mentioned within the site. Cool. So any other questions? Anything else you want to talk about there?
I don't see anything in the Q&A box at the moment. So
Okay.
if anybody does have questions, feel free to type them in as you think of them, and we will get to them during the rest of the training.
Cool. Thank you. So we have logged on, we have set up the Google integrations, and we've even maybe done a search. Let's go back to the home page, and I'm going to just click the icon, or sorry, the logo in the top left-hand corner. And that brings me back to our home page, or our home page group. So Buckles Connect is, the platform itself has like 3 key features. It has channels, it has pages, and it has people. And then it's got a few different productivity tools, such as the search that we just did. It also has bookmarks and the launcher, and then notifications. So we're just going to kind of take a little tour through all of these different things, so you get a better understanding of where to go to find things on the site and what's available to you. So within this home page group, and again, I keep saying this page group, all of our pages are grouped by commonality. So this is our news group, right? And latest news and resources. We'll have a page group for statistics and a page group for the policies and procedures. So you'll see if you click on pages in the top left-hand corner, you're going to see all the different page groups that you belong to or that you can access. If you're a director, you'll see another group called the Director Portal, and that's where only directors and select staff can go, and there's forms specific to them. There's information that is specific to directors and select staff. So these are all the different page groups, and the first one is the one we're looking at right now, and that's the news and resources. If you click on the left arrow, the little arrow on the left-hand side, you'll see all of the different pages that exist within that group. And this first one that we're on is called news. If you hover over any of those pages, you're going to see a little kind of synopsis of what that page is all about. So you have a better understanding of what you're looking at. So I'm going to just jump over here. Here's our first page, news. And again, like I mentioned before, this is all about the news that's coming out of our office. And you'll see that in the first tab here. The committee news, that's all the news coming from our committees. And then finally, the library news. Library news, right now, we compile all that news within our office. And every month we send out a newsletter called Cobalt. And then we also post that information here. So we're actually doing the work of compiling all the information and putting out the call for the info, compiling it, and then posting it. And what we want to do eventually, what we're working towards is allowing the libraries to post their own news as that news happens. So it's a little bit more in real time, and it allows for more discussion about the news articles. So, but right now we're compiling it, and we'll let you know when it's time to start posting it yourself. So you'll see we always have, every month we have an article from the president, and we have our Cobalt snapshot, and that's just the basic news that's happening. And you can scroll through that and see what's happening there. The committee news is anything that's coming from our committees. So that could be something that we compile for the committee newsletter, or it could be a newsletter that is put out specifically from a committee, or maybe there's just something happening within that committee that we need to share. Every month, not only do we share basically what happened over the last month, so all those events that the committees are putting on, we have these recaps that we put out, kind of lets you know what happened at those events. But committees every month also share new tips or reading lists, and we post those here as well. So if I were to click on that, you'll see in this post, it's very similar to social media. There's the content of the post. It links to other places within the site. And if you scroll down, you can also like it. You can comment on it. You can add some emojis. You can add a GIF. You can add attachments. So it's very similar to social media. There's a lot of interaction that allows you to really ask questions if you need to, or trying to get to know each other throughout the whole consortium. So I'm just going to go back to that where we just were, which is the committee news here. Not only did I click on the post itself to see the info, but you can go ahead and click on the heading here, and that will bring you to the channel where all these things are posted. So the channel is a group of postings or a group of discussions about different events. So again, very similar to social media, everything is threaded. So you would go into the post, and then you can see all of the information about it. You can link to other places, and at the bottom, you're going to see where we can comment, and we're just going to go to the bottom. I can like it, I can comment on it, and I can share more information. So we had, I'm going to jump back over to the homepage. We have not only the news here, but we have the ability to go to the directly to the post, and we can also go to the channel where those posts live. So in pages, we're looking at this page group. Pages really hold static information. It is where we are going to share documents or policies or information that doesn't change on a regular basis, and it doesn't necessarily, let's say, evolve with others kind of commenting on it. So, and that's really how we think of pages as like static content. Channels are all about, they're ever changing, and it's all about social contact and social interaction. So channels are where you're going to go to post topics, comment on other people's topics, and all the channels are by topic. So you'll see channels about PR. You'll see channels about your pets, because it's a very social channel. You'll see channels about news. So if I go ahead and click on channels up here, you're going to see a couple. Here's our office news. That's the one that comes from our office. That's the one that we want everybody to see. So that is the one that everybody belongs to right away. If you go down to the bottom, you'll see all the channels to which you already belong. So these are channels probably where we added you to the channel. We want to make sure that you get that news, that information. And then you'll see any other channels where you have joined the channel. So Buckles Pet is one where you can join the channel, talk about your pet, talk about other people's pet. It is totally social. It has nothing to do with really your job, but it does give you a way to interact with other people throughout this whole very large consortium. And then we have news from the committees and delivery. You can join Did You Know? Did You Know is a channel that is maintained by the PR committee. And these are all just tips about what is available to you through Buckles Connect or through the consortium. As being part of the consortium, what is available to you, and the PR committee wants to make sure that you know about that. And they post something every week. There's one new posting every week from them, and each month is a theme. So you usually get about 4 singular posts, and at the end you get a recap of all of them. And of course, the library news that we saw before. Now, if you're going through these channels and you think like, well, they're kind of limited. It's like, where are all these other things that we want to talk about? I mentioned the PR channel. Where is that? If you go to Discover Channels, you're going to find all of the channels that are available to you to join. So All of these channels are there and they're available for you to join right away. You can just click join channel. They're not closed off. We do have channels that are private channels for committees where they do a lot of their work within that channel. But here you can check them out, read a little bit about them. So if you're a youth services librarian and you want to know what everybody's talking about, you can go into Buckles Youth and join that channel. Let's see, here's that marketing and PR. So if you work on marketing and PR within your library, this is a great channel for you. Start a conversation with people. Other people are starting conversations, see what's out there. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that so you can see. And if you notice, there are a couple of posts, but it's kind of grayed out, and there's this button at the bottom that says join channel. You can't actually interact with anything until you join the channel. So just go ahead and click join. And as soon as I do that, this grayed out portion is kind of going to go away, and I'll be able to actually, you'll see the comments and the likes appear at the bottom of each post. I'm just going to refresh that so it goes a little faster. Let's try that one more time. And refresh. So here I am. I'm now, you can see I can actually write a post here. I can create an article that's a little different than a post, a little bit, the structure is a little different. I can add files to that. I can add apps to it. And then I can read the other posts as well. I can like and I can comment on those. And again, it organizes everything just like social media. It's going to organize everything within that one topic. So you don't have to go through your email and look back and see when somebody mentioned something, or, oh, I know this all message came out, I can't remember, there's a million all messages. You can go directly to the channel and find it. Or if you have a question, you want to know what other people are doing at their libraries, it's a great way to get directly to the source, rather than sending out an all message and hoping that somebody within the department at another library answers you. I'm going to jump back over to that news page. So we've talked about pages and we've talked about channels. Pages being static content, channels being kind of ever changing and more of a social aspect. So let's take a tour through the different pages within our news group. So we have the news page, like I showed you before. In the top right-hand corner, you're going to see the Did You Know posts from the PR committee that we mentioned. And then underneath that, you're going to see My Stream. My Stream are all the latest posts within your channels, the ones you belong to. So you've chosen to join these channels, and you're going to see only the latest posts from them here. So it's a great way to kind of check in to see what's been happening. And then the next tab over is called Current Tips. Like I mentioned before, a bunch of our committees every month put out a helpful tip, and this is where we're going to post them every month. So we have collection development tips that comes from our adult services committee, and then we have the Did You Know, like we mentioned before. We have diversity tips that comes from diverse and underserved population, or our DUP committee. We have the P&P tips of the week. Obviously, they come out every week, and that changes every week. We have programs of the month, and that comes from our youth services committee. And these programs are for all ages, and they actually organize them by age group. So we'll see that in a minute. And then we also have the Tech Spotlight, and that comes from our Tech Committee, or Technology and Digital Services Committee. And this month it happens to be a newsletter that they put out. If you look underneath each image, you'll see the blue link. If you click on that, you're going to be taken directly to the document. So you can read through it. You can see, oh, here we go. We got Gaga Ball. I can learn all about it. This is their experience with it. And if you notice, it tells you the age group here. So you can kind of get a good idea of who they think it's appropriate for or who they worked with. I'm going to jump back over here. And if you see above each image, there is another link in that heading. If you click on that, it's going to bring you to the folder within our shared drive with all of the different programs. And here you can see all of these programs are separated by age group. So if you're looking for something for kids ages 10 to 13 or thereabouts, go ahead and click into that and find out all the past programs that Youth Services has worked on. And you'll see there are a lot. So if you need some ideas, there's a lot of ideas out there. So definitely take a tour through these and check them out. Jumping back over again, the same thing's true for all of these. If you click on that heading, it'll bring you to that portion of our knowledge base with all of the past tips. And I'm going to move through these headings up here. Our next stop is databases, and these are all just databases that information we've compiled from all the different libraries or the different staff members to hopefully make your lives a little bit easier when helping patrons. So the first two, library subscriptions and special equipment, these are all the different subscriptions available at different libraries or the special equipment available at different libraries. These are evolving and we are changing the way that we showcase these. So this will change a little bit in the next few months when we launch our new website. So it'll be a little bit more one-stop shopping when that's done. And you'll actually be able to update all the information much more easily, and you'll be able to do it yourself. Right now, you have to contact us and we update it for you. And then we have the Buckles job pool. So if you're looking for part-time work, or if a director is looking for somebody to fill in some shifts, this is a great place to enter your information. And then your information is only available to directors and select staff who can see the list of people and their contact information. But if you want to put yourself on the job pool, this is where you're going to do it. Go ahead and click either the title, the heading, or the image, and it will bring you right to the form. You can fill out your information. And over here on the right, we have vendors and performers. So this is a database that was created by the Youth Services Committee and the Adult Services Committee over the years. They have compiled information about vendors that they've worked with in the past, and then they've written reviews about them. They let you know about what it is that they do, the age that they are appropriate for, the cost, and they kind of compiled all that information. And over the years, it has been opened up to general staff members to be able to input their information. And now this is our latest iteration of it. And it really allows for anybody to submit a new vendor or rate an existing vendor. So if you've worked with somebody that you see in the database, you can also rate them and let everybody know how you felt about working with them. And you can also search that database. So these are all made within Google Tables. So if you click on that, you're going to come to this table. You'll see here all the different vendors. And we've set up a few filters, like preset filters for you. So you can go ahead and click on by age. You can see everybody who's available for adults, everybody who's good for adults and teens. And we have adults, teens, and children. Maybe just adults and children, teen and children, and you get it. So you can do it by age, or you can go by category. So maybe you're looking for a live animal vendor or arts and crafts. So you can search that way, or it'll automatically sort them that way for you. You can also do it by price. So you can see who falls in which category. And then, of course, by rating. And so it'll sort everybody by rating. So once you've searched the database, you can find out all of their contact information and you can contact them directly. If, like I said before, if you have a vendor that you have used and you don't see them in the database, you can add your vendor to the database. So this is just, again, a form that will add your vendor to the database. You just answer the questions and it'll automatically add that vendor. It's just looking for basic contact information about that vendor. It's not asking for a review yet because you can't review a vendor until you put them into the database. So now I searched the database. I saw that my vendor was not there. I added my vendor, and the last thing I want to do is rate them. So I'm going to go in and rate them. Or you're just going to do this for an existing vendor that you see. And this would be really helpful, especially working at a library that hasn't been part of Buckles. So it'd be really nice to hear from you guys. So you go ahead and click on Rate a Vendor. And if you click within this first field, you'll see all the vendors who are part of the database already. You can go ahead and click on them and then add your information. When your program was, your rating for them, would you book them again, and any review that you would like. And the more information you can tell us, the better. So that's our vendor and performer database. Really useful, really helpful, especially when you're trying to plan those programs. And the last one in this dropdown you're going to see is the library meeting spaces. And that is basically, it's used a lot by committees who are looking to have events and they want to know what's available at different libraries. So you can see the different spaces that are available, or even if a library is available to host an event. So that's another one built in Google Tables. Then we have Reader's Advisory. These are reading lists that are put out every month by the Adult Services Committee called Read, Watch, Listen, the Youth Services Committee called Fresh Focus, and the DUP Committee, or Diverse and Underserved Populations. They put out diversity titles. So these are just reading lists that are usually themed in some way, and they're a great resource for your patrons, but they're also a great way if you need an idea for a display or something. It's a good way to kind of get some ideas. If you click on the image or the link underneath, it's going to bring you directly to the reading list, and you can see all the different titles. If you click on the heading, it will bring you to a list of all the reading lists within that. And this is created within an application that we have available to you called LibGuides. It is connected to, it's from a company called SpringShare, and it is connected to another application that is available to you called LibCal, which is what the application that we use to create program events and calendar events where your patrons can actually register for your events online. So that's our Reader's Advisory and all the reading lists. We have Ready Reference, the reference page, and that includes Ready Reference. And Ready Reference are a bunch of librarian-approved websites. So all broken down by category. So if you have a patron come in and they're looking for a good website about government, and specifically maybe some counties, or you can look down and you can see New Jersey or the United States. So these are curated by the Adult Services Committee, and those are kept up to date on a regular basis. And we also have links to Jersey Clicks, and then of course the World Language Directory within our catalog. Next, we have the events page, and the events page shows you not only the Buckles events calendar, which includes all committee events, committee meetings, or upcoming events that they're hosting, and also any training that we're offering. So you'll see that here on the calendar. You can scroll through, and for example, if I were to go forward into October and say October 15th, here's the Friends Brunch. So that is being offered by the Friends Committee, and that's the way the Friends Committee and Scholarship, they raise money for the Buckles Scholarship Fund. On the left-hand side, you're going to see a bunch of the upcoming events, and these again are channel posts that appear here, so you can actually click on the Buckles Events heading, and that'll bring you directly to the channel, and you can scroll through and see all of the events that are posted and get more information about them. And you can also ask, you can like it, or you can ask questions about it too if you have any questions there. I'm going to jump back over to the news page, and we're moving through to About Buckles. So this is all the information you could possibly want to know about Buckles. So the About Buckles page tells you all about how we're set up, the governance, the current executive board, what is Buckles. It is a consortium, soon to be 77 public libraries. Soon to be 78 with the addition of South Orange, and kind of give the history of Buckles. We also have all of the different member libraries and the Find Free libraries. So if you're looking to see who else is Find Free and you want to know more about that, here's our map. This map is only available to Buckles staff members. We don't make this available to the public. You can also filter this out. So I'm going to filter out all the libraries and just look at my Find Free libraries, or if I want to just look at Find Free Youth, or if I only want to see who's temporarily Find Free. We try to keep this up to date as everybody changes, and that has been happening a lot lately. And then we also have a director list. So I'm going to jump down to that next one. And in this director list, we have all the different directors from all the different libraries and their contact information. And the Buckles office shows you our contact information. So you'll not only see how to get here and our phone number, you'll see Dave, our executive director. Here we are on the map. And then this is our org chart. So you'll get to see everybody in our office, and you can click on their information and you can see their profile information. You can all their contact here, their email, phone number, who their manager is. And we're actually building on this even more right now, and we're going to go into a little bit more detail later. And you'll see that in the people directory. We're starting to build that and really create a really robust staff directory. So I'll jump back over to that news page. And lastly, we have the Buckles office and Buckles delivery. So you can see everything you want to know about Buckles delivery. And then this is where you're going to come probably most often when you log on to Buckles Connect. This is the support page. So anytime you have an issue, you have a question, you need some help from our office, you're going to go to the support page. So you can click right on the word support, or you can click on the word support form. Either way, it brings you to the same place. So on the support page, we're going to give you some basic information, what to do if there's some network outages, and we're going to ask you to fill out a support form if you have any other issues other than this. If you are a designated catalog delegate, which means that you are designated, you're a designated staff member who can submit titles for cataloging to our cataloging department, you have your own support page, or support form, so you'll be able to click there. And you'll see it also here in the drop-down menu, and that'll bring you directly to that page. If you are not a designated staff member to do that, you will not even see these, so you don't have to worry about it. If you are a library director and you need to submit a support ticket, we're going to ask you to go to the support form for the directors. There are different options available to directors, and that will bring you to the director portal. We also offer you the rate card. So here if you scroll down, you'll see this rate card, and that's basically if you want to order any equipment from our IT department, here are all the different prices. So if you do have an issue and you need to submit the support form, you're going to go to the support form, click off your name right here, and then, check off your name. And then you're going to choose a category and then click next, and it will prompt you for more information based on the category that you chose. So let's say you want more bins for delivery. You need extra bins. You're going to click delivery and then click next. And then it's going to ask you a little bit more. And one of the options is request extra bins. So you'll click that, click next, and then it'll ask you to submit it. It'll ask you how many you need, I believe, is the next question. So if you have a patron that needs the barcode change, you're going to click the patron barcode change option, and it'll, again, prompt you for more information. If you see an issue on the Buckles website or within Buckles Connect, you're going to click Web Services, and it'll prompt you for more information. If you wanted to update your library subscriptions, that's a great place to go. Let us know that you need to update those things. So if you have a unique logon for our catalog for LEAP, or for Polaris, all of the ILS access, go ahead and click unique logon, and it will prompt you for more information. So always go to the support form when you have an issue. If you have a question or need some service or some help from our office, fill out that support form. What it's going to do for you is it's going to get your question into the hands of the right people right away. So if you have an issue with the website and you email me directly and I'm out on vacation or out sick, I won't get that email until I get back, and your question will be left unanswered until I get back into the office. If you fill out the support form, it goes to our support system, and the team members who are responsible for that category will see the information. So if I'm not in, my backup will see that request and be able to get to you before I come back into the office. So always fill out that support form when possible, because that is really going to get your question answered much faster, and it really helps us as well. So that is based, and again, it's the last drop down here is the training section. That'll bring you to the training section, which is a different group of pages within the site. So that kind of rounds out the first page group. So I want to take a minute to see if there are any questions. Anything that we've gone over so far?
I don't see any questions in the Q&A box, so if anyone has any questions, please type it in the Q&A box. If it's a detailed question, we can unmute you at the end of today's training. So if you do have any questions, please type them in the Q&A box for us.
Excellent. Thank you. So since we're on the subject of pages, I'd like to go through a couple of other page groups. Close that up so you can see. We have our committees and task forces, and this will tell you all about all the different committees that we have. It gives you a rundown of each committee. There's a contact form there, and there are links to past minutes and agendas. You can kind of get an idea of what they do. And if you're thinking about joining your committee, that's a great place to go first to see what they do. Our committee year starts the first of the year. We also have consortium info. So this is all kinds of stuff from the Buckles office, what it's all about, our executive board, system council, past minutes and agendas, statistics, all kinds of stuff in there. And the policies and procedures page group. Policies and procedures, this is basically our whole manual. So on the left-hand side, there is a little table of contents of all the different pages within this group and part of the manual. And in the middle, you'll see the entire manual. This is the whole document. So if you want a little light reading, it's a nice one to curl up with. If you don't want to read it in this format, you can click at the bottom right. You'll see a little link that says open file. Go ahead and click that. It will open a new tab. And here you can really dive into the whole manual. And I know it's something that Margaret loves to curl up with as often as she can. And the left-hand side, you're going to see that table of contents, a more detailed table of contents, and it shows you all of the information. And you can click right on that, and it'll bring you to that section. Back here, again, on that PMP page, you're going to see, if you continue scrolling down to the bottom, these are all those sections split up into individual documents. So if this is something that you continue to visit and you know, like, oh, you know, overdue fines, like I need to go back and look at this all the time. I constantly going back to overdue fines. I need to know what's happening here. If you notice on the right-hand side, this little icon right here is blue where all the other ones are clear. So this one, I have actually added this one as a bookmark, or I bookmarked this document. Everything on the site can be bookmarked. So you can actually choose to make this part of like a shortcut. You can create a shortcut for yourself to get back to this document. Because that is clicked here, or it's on here, I should see it appear in my bookmarks menu. So I'm going to see it's called overdue fines. We're going to click on bookmarks, and there it is, overdue fines. I also see that as that little pink icon there, that means it's a document within. The Buckles Pets, you'll see, is bookmarked as well, and that's a channel. And then here we have a few pages that I have bookmarked. If you notice, I've bookmarked the policies and procedures page as well. So let's go ahead and look at that. if I see here, I'm in my policies and procedures pages, there's the bookmark. And let's go ahead and like bookmark something else. So I'm going to bookmark local finds. I click on that, I get this pop-up. I can change the name of it if I want. I think it's named aptly. So I'm going to click add. And then I should see local finds show up here, and there it is. If I know this is something I'm going to return to a lot, you know what? I'll put it right up at the beginning. So all I did was drag that to the top. And I can see all of my bookmarks here. Now I can also filter my bookmarks by file, page, channel. So let's go ahead and do files, and I see my 2 files show up there. I don't have a lot, so I'm going to keep it on all. So what if, since I bookmarked these 2, what if I don't really need the page to be bookmarked? I'm going to go ahead and click on that edit bookmark. And at the bottom, I'm going to click remove. And now it just removed that from my bookmarks menu. It's a great way to create a quick links menu for yourself. It's how you can, one of the ways you can customize the platform for your use. And again, none of this changes for when other people come on. This is all specifically to you. The same thing is true. I wanted to mention that about the Google tables we were looking at before. When you filter things in different ways, it doesn't change it for everybody. That's just for you. It's a really nice thing about all these Google applications. Anytime you change something, it doesn't change it for everybody. It's really changing the view just for you. So bookmarks is a great way to customize the site for your needs and for your usage. So very similar to bookmarks, we have something called Launcher, and Launcher is a quick links menu that we created for you. So most of these are third-party applications that you need to get to, and you may not be able to maybe bookmark them somewhere in your browser. So we've created them for you here. So you maybe use the Leap test server a lot, or maybe you use Leap. So we have created these links for you here. If you notice, some of them have yellow stars and some don't. If you hover over it, you'll see that star appear. And basically, if you click on that, you're creating, again, your own quick links menu out of the launcher. So if I click on all up here, I'll actually be able to change it just to favorites. And now I'm just going to see the ones that I like to visit all the time. I don't need to see all those others. They just clog up my view. So I'm going to look at the ones I use all the time. And maybe I actually don't use the Leap test very much. I've found that I'm not using it anymore. I'm going to get rid of that star, and if you notice, it goes away. It did not leave the launcher. It's still here, right? But it's no longer in my favorites. So a great way, again, to customize the site for your usage. So we have bookmarks and launcher. And again, I said before, you can bookmark anything. I mean anything. You can bookmark. Here we had our documents. Here's a folder. I can bookmark that folder. My page, I bookmarked the page. I'm just going to go back up to the top. So you see it's always at the top of the page. So as I scroll, it follows me. That search bar right there, that search icon brings up a search that is specific to this page group. So it's already filtered to this page group. So it's only going to look within there. And that's true on every page. If I go to another page group, let's say statistics, this is one you will probably visit quite often if you're responsible for pulling reports. There are a bunch of reports that we do every month for from the office for the consortium. So you'll be able to find them here. Up in the top right-hand corner, there's that bookmark icon in the search. If I scroll down, it follows me down. So that is how I'm going to bookmark the page. Now, if I am always visiting the cumulative monthly report, I know I'm going to come back here every month for the year of 2023, or next year when it's 2024, you're going to come here every month. Go ahead and bookmark that. Click the bookmark icon. You can change the name of it. Here's a great example of how 2023 tells me nothing, right? But maybe Circ Monthly 2023 is more descriptive. So I'm going to add that. I go to my bookmarks. There it is, Circ Monthly 2023, and that will bring me right to that folder with all of the different reports that have been run for the year of 2023. I'm just going to jump back over to that page we were just on. So there's the folder. If I click into that folder, here are those documents that we just saw. Maybe I want to bookmark a document here or a Google Sheet here and add that to my bookmarks. So we had pages, documents, folders, we have channels. I'm going to jump over to Buckles Pets. There's my Buckles Pets channel. There, you see I've bookmarked it. So all I have to do is click on that. I can then search for this channel. This search, again, only searches Buckles Pets, as it's already filtered out all the other ones and just gone to Buckles Pets. If I want to add another channel, let's say marketing and PR, I go to that channel that I just joined. I want to bookmark that. I click on it. There is the name, and I'm going to add it. And here it is in my bookmarks menu. So great way to customize the site for yourself. So we've gone through channels, updated constantly, very social. Pages, static content, updated sometimes. And we had bookmarks and launcher. That's a way to customize the site for your navigation or for your needs. And then we have notifications. Notifications is exactly what it says. It's notifying you of all the activity on the site. So this is basically any activity in a channel that you have joined. So wherever there was activity, this is where you're going to find the notifications. You can go through each one. So I can click on that. It'll bring me directly to the post. I can read all about it. And if you notice, it disappeared from my notifications list. Or I can clean them all up because we have too many. I'm going to click mark all as read. Or I want to change my notification settings. And so I can choose to click here, which will bring me to my notification settings. This is actually located, you probably recognize it. This is where we saw the integrations tab. This is located under your profile and then user settings. Third tab, notification settings. This is where you can set your notifications for all of the channels that you have joined and how you want to be notified. So let's look at this in two different, let's take the first part first. So basically the priority of the channel, of the notification. So let's go directly to Buckles Pets. So in here, I have it set to medium priority. Medium priority means that I'm going to receive a notification about any new posts mentioned. That's when somebody does @ and then your name and tags you in something, and comments on posts where I've already participated. So as long as I've already done something within that post, I either posted that article or post, or I have commented on it, or I have liked it, somehow I have already participated in that, or somebody again mentions me in it. That's where I'm going to get notified. High priority means you're going to get notified about any activity in that channel. So it doesn't matter what it is. Something happens, somebody sneezes in that channel, you're going to get a notification about it. Low priority, on the other hand, is going to give you notifications about posts where you've already participated and when somebody else mentions you. So that's not new posts. That's the big difference between low priority and medium priority. Medium priority includes that new post portion. Low priority, if you choose that, even if there's a new post, you're not going to find out about it. You're only going to find out about something where the system has learned that you are interested in it, a specific post. And then of course there's muted, so you can just turn off all notifications for that channel. So you can do all the different channels that you've joined in this one spot. And then what you can do is choose how you want the system to notify you. You will always see the notifications up here in the top right-hand corner, so you can always go there and check out your notifications, and that can be your only option if you want. You can turn off all of these, and that will be the only way the system will tell you that you've had some activity. Or you can choose to choose desktop notifications. So if you use a desktop, or a laptop, if you use a computer and it is yours and you want to turn on those notifications, you can do that. Or you can have the system email you, and they're going to email you anytime you have a mention or somebody has tagged you, or sharing a channel, or someone joins the channel. So that's mostly for editors of channels. They're going to send you a notification. Or you can choose, this is the best one, in my opinion. It's the email digest. So basically, at the end of the day, the system is going to compile all of the activity for your channel, and they're going to send you an email that says, hey, this is what you missed. It's a nice way. You come in the next morning, you log into your email, and you see this one email about all the different activities that have happened on the platform. So it'll say, while you were out, this is what happened, and you can choose to click on it and go and read all about the activity that has happened for you. So, or if you don't get anything, that means nothing's happened while you were gone, you missed nothing. So it's a really nice way to clean up your inbox. And we have a lot of Google groups where committees communicate, and a lot of those other categories that you saw in channels like Buckles Youth, Buckles Adults, those are all Google groups where right now, up till now, we've been communicating via email. And what we're doing is we're migrating everybody over onto the intranet, so onto Buckles Connect. That way, you don't have to get bombarded by many emails every single time that there's activity in that group. But instead, you can just get this one digest at the end of the day, and you can find out everything that's happening. You can, of course, change that at any time. You can come back to these notification settings and change it. One other place you're going to find these settings is within each channel. So if I go ahead and go over to Buckles Pets again, I scroll down, and the bottom right, you'll see my notification settings. Click on Show, and this is where you're going to set that priority. This isn't going to change how the system contacts you. It's going to change the priority for that specific channel. So there's a couple of different places that you can find that. Okay, so last but definitely not least, I mentioned this before, we have a people directory. It's basically our staff directory through the entire system. So if you click on people, you're going to see everybody who's on the system. Keep in mind, only individual accounts can be on here. Shared accounts do not have access to Buckles Connect. So like you have one for print, I believe. There's a librarian, I think you have one at South Orange. You won't see that on here. You'll see only individual accounts. So because this is powered by Google or built upon our Google workspace, we're able to go into the profiles of each person and kind of update them so that the system will update, and then we will be able to organize it more really for everybody. So one of the things that I've recently done is I've added the location to everybody's account. So you can actually go in and search by library. So let's say you want to find everybody who's in South Orange. You could scroll and find it, or you could type it in search bar. I click South Orange, and now here's everybody within South Orange. You can click on their card, and their contact information will come up just like I did before with Margaret. And when I click on that, I have a few options. I can see their contact information here. I can see the library. I can choose to message them via email or WebEx or Google Chat. I can call them via Google Meet or WebEx, and I can schedule an event. Now, some of these options will not be available for you if you do not have that set up, if you're not part of those systems. So if you're not part of WebEx, you may not be able to call them. And then again, you can schedule an event with them through their Google Calendar. You'll see their organizational chart as well. This is something else that we're starting to build out, and that's one of my projects this year, is to collect everybody's department and title information. That way we can add that to your profile, and then we can also add your manager That way, an organizational chart will automatically be built within each one of these profile pages. And we can also start building out library page groups so that you can basically have your own private intranet within Buckles Connect that is just for your library. And you can kind of post things just to your staff. So we're building that out the end of this year and into next year. So again, that's the people. You can search by name. So if I want to find somebody on here directly, I can do that. And there he is right there. I can, again, from here, I can message, I can call, or I can click right in and see their contact information directly. So really great feature. The people directory was just updated by Happyo. It's a really nice features that they've offered. And you'll see eventually this organizational chart will actually be able to, you'll be able to see everybody in there. It's really nice and how everybody's connected. Also, because we'll be adding the department and the titles, if you're looking for somebody who's head of circ, or you want to look for everybody who's head of circ, you'll be able to do that by either choosing the title from the list or doing that search and finding that title there. You can also, you'll be able to do that by department too as we add more departments. There are some who have been added already, and that's because I've updated our office, and that's where those titles and departments came from. Okay, so that was a lot of information today. Hopefully you got a basic rundown of what the platform can do for you, where you can find some of the information, and if you can't find it, you can always search. So I want to open it up to questions, see if anybody has any questions out there.
So I don't see any questions as of right now in the Q&A box, so we're going to give everyone a chance to get their thoughts together. Feel free to type any questions in there. If you'd like to be unmuted to ask a question, we can unmute you as well. So while people are formulating any possible questions, Joseph, I do have a couple of questions for you if I can bring up questions that have come up in like previous training sessions that might be applicable.
Sure.
What do I do if I don't have the Happyo icon in the launcher?
So there's a couple of things you can do. One, you can contact me, let me know that you're not seeing it. And so I'm going to go back here. This is the launcher you were talking about, and this is the Happyo icon. Right. So if you don't see it there, go ahead and contact me. You can you can't fill out a support form if you can't get to Happyo. So you can contact me directly. I'm joseph@buckles.org. But before you do that, you're going to want to do that. So let me know. But there are other ways to get to the site. So if you go to our website, if you go to buckles.org, in the top right-hand corner, there's a link to the staff portal. So that'll bring you to the login page as well. And another place, and this is on our new website, which will be released about mid-September or so. We're switching over to this. So this is the website you'll actually see. Under Home, you'll see Staff Login. You can go ahead and click on that. And then you'll see that sign in with Google button, and that'll automatically bring you to that sign in page.
Awesome. So talking about not being able to fill out a support form because you can't get into Happyo, what's the difference between sending, say, a support form or an email asking for assistance? Doesn't it kind of do the same thing whether or not I send a support form or I send an email and ask for help?
So if you send the email to an individual within the office, like I said before, that's not going to be the best way to do it because if they're not in, they're not going to get the email. You're not going to get your answer. If they're not the appropriate person, they will have to then forward it to somebody. And if they're not in the office, you have to wait till they forward it. So again, not a great idea to email us directly. And the other option you'll probably see is there's an email called support@buckles.org. If you email support@buckles.org, it does go to our support system, but it doesn't get filtered. It doesn't get sorted into the proper group until somebody goes to that, finds it, and then sorts it into the proper group. So it kind of sits in a general inbox and has to wait to be sorted. So not as efficient as filling out a support form. It is, if you have to do that, it is possible to email support@buckles.org, and it will eventually get to the right person.
Okay. And could you briefly explain again the difference between channels and pages and how to sign up?
Sure. So a channel is like a social channel. So it's a place where you're going to go and post information, post a question, and they are all the channels are separated by topic. So that's where you're going to go and post information, and you're going to join the channel by simply choosing the join channel button. So if you see the channel down here, that means you already belong to it. You don't have to worry about joining it. You can just go there and start participating. If you go to discover channels and you see all these channels here and you want to see, and you want to join one of these, you go ahead and click join channel, or you can click into it and see what's happening in there and then click the join channel button from within the channel. Pages, again, that's basically static content that doesn't change too often. And those are exactly what it sounds like. It's pages, like pages in a book. You're going to read the information and get the information.
Great, great. So we had a question that came up yesterday regarding Google Analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Can you?
I think the question yesterday about Google Analytics was basically kind of like, what is Google Analytics? So Google Analytics is a way of keeping track of the activity within your website. So if you want to see how many clicks you had, how many people left your site, how far did somebody get within your site, how did somebody get to a specific spot in your site? So if you have a contact page and you want to know how people got there, did they come in through social media? Did they come in through the homepage? Google Analytics will do that for you. So that is something that you set up on your own and you connect it to your specific website.
Okay. I have one other question. If anyone has any questions, feel free to type them in the Q&A box. So Joseph, what would you say are some of your favorite tips that would be helpful for new users that are starting up with Buckles Connect?
Oh yeah. So the first thing, log in. Second thing, set up your integration. Set up your Google integration. So go to your profile picture, go to user settings, integrations, and turn these three on. If you're not able to turn them on, check and make sure you're not getting a pop-up menu. If you're a pop-up blocker up there, you need to allow pop-ups for the site in order to do these things, in order to complete that integration or that enable the integration. So definitely do that. So you logged on, you turned on your integration, and set up your bookmarks. Start using bookmarks and set up your launcher and really start customizing the site for yourself. And then click on everything. Click everywhere, read through things, try all the pages, try all the channels, try searching, search for everything. Any keyword you can possibly think of, start searching the keywords. And as you find things that are useful and you think you might use again, bookmark them. So you really can customize it for yourself. Remember, everything can be changed and you can't really break anything.
Cool, cool. So I don't see any questions in the Q&A box or the chat box. So I think we're going to wind down unless there's anything else that you or Margaret want to say.
No, just thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
Okay. So I would like to say many thanks to Joseph Palmer, our Web Product and Development Coordinator, for an excellent class. I'd like to thank everyone from South Orange for taking time out of your day to be here this afternoon. We appreciate that. We will be sending we'll be sending a post-event email to you. This afternoon, you'll receive an evaluation form. It's a link to a Google form, so you can give us your anonymous feedback. Your feedback is very important as it helps us plan future events, either pertaining to this topic or other topics that you would like to see. So we appreciate your feedback on that. We'll also be sending an email with a link to the recording, as well as some great handouts that Joseph has created regarding Buckles Connect. So look for that probably in about a day or two. And lastly, talking about Buckles Connect, Joseph hosts a Buckles Connect drop-in session. The next one will be on Wednesday, September 6th. It's from 10 to 11. You don't have to register. You can come in, listen to the discussion. You can come in with questions. We'll send the information to Jill and Lindita, and then they can share it with you. This way we'll make sure we don't miss anybody on the email. So I think that's it. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. And again, everybody, thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to Buckles.
Thanks all.
Thanks, everybody.